So check one now. So if I was to say to you, what mic do you have there?
The AKG.
So now I shouldn't hear you
Yes.
with that echo. So now it should be just your speaker
Mm.
there and my speaker here. So, and if Tony speaks to me,
Check, hello, hello.
so you can hear him there and you can hear him through this mic. So check one now. So if I was to say to you, what mic do you have there?
The AKG.
So now I shouldn't hear you
Yes.
with that echo. So now it should be just your speaker there and my speaker here. So now we're getting better quality. Still gonna adjust it a little bit because we've got a gain quite high here, but we're getting to a place now where the audio sounds a lot better. So I'm not still at the point I want to be at. It needs to be professional. It needs to sound really good and radio quality basically. So there's a few tips that I'm going to share with you today to share how I basically, well, I had terrible audio and now I'm at a point where it's reasonable. But I've still got a few more adjustments to make it actually perfect. So setting levels for podcast audio. What you want to be able to do is use a few things to help you and make it easier. So right now here you can see I'm monitoring my audio levels on this free loudness meter from Orban. Okay, so there comes a time when 2 is not enough. You want 4. This is the Behringer Q1202 USB. It's they call it a smaller version of the Behringer because there's a 1204 which has 4 outputs. So because we've got the podcasting set up and I've been using 2 mics, we have had more interest and there will be more people coming on board. So I needed to get a 4 version. Luckily, Behringer have sent me this and I still have the old one. So, well, yeah, well, they sent me that and another microphone as well. So these are giving you a quick view of them and why I've upgraded. So I already have a Behringer mic here. I've got an old AKG mic there. I've got another Behringer mic here, which seems to be doing well based on so far's tests. And I'll do a quick view of this Behringer. And because we're using XLR mics, these are not phantom powered. This luckily is phantom powered. So if you do have mics like the one I upgraded from, I had a newer microphone, but because it's more of an open pattern, it was picking up, I mean, on like maybe a 5-foot desk here, it was picking up my voice as well as the co-presenter's voice and it sounded echoey. But right now it should be getting better. So the reason we've gone to a 4-1 is I liked the price, they're cheap and they're on a budget. So there's a Yamaha series as well that comes out about 190 quid for a similar setup, but why pay 190 when you can pay 80? I think this one was. So this is 80 and the other one was 55. And more or less this one's a bit nicer because it's got a slider. I've been able to control the 4 mics and it's phantom powered. I can put my soundboard into it. I can control the main 3 equalizer, mid and lows, add effects to it if I need to, but the main thing is going to be voice basically for videos, and because we're using OBS and streaming, it works out a bit better. So I'm going to change this setup over and explain, well, not really explain. Can I show you both of them side by side so you get a comparison of size and how much of a difference the size actually is? If I take this out. Okay, so I've got both of them here side by side. Here's the old one, which is the Q802 USB. You can see it's got the 2 XLR inputs. And if you're doing a podcasting setup, 2 is not going to be enough. You always want room to improve. So here's the new version that we've got, which is the 4 XLRs. And there's additional inputs on the right hand side if you use the phono type, not phono, the jack type. And here's them side by side, so you can see it's a slight increase, about 1.5 inches extra long, and it's got the side by side view there as well, so you can see them. It's a slight bit longer or taller depending on how you're looking at it. The back similar, it's got a fan in the back, so it's a good option to upgrade to. Okay, so I've set up the Behringer now. I've got my XLR mic plugged in channel 1. I'm using that line of results there. I've got gain halfway and I'm using the master mix here to give good enough audio. What I did do was on the computer Q80. Okay, so it's time to improve my audio. I've had this set up for a while, but I need to up my gain. The audio hasn't been great. So as you can see, we've got a smiley face package wrong too. And what we're gonna do today is quickly get straight into it. If I open this up, you should know what it already is from the thumbnail. Okay, so open that up. Can you see that? Look at that beauty. It's an audio mixer, but it's a USB one, so it's not the standard one. What we're going to basically do is open it up and set it up. So at the moment, what I have is a Neewer microphone with let's get this tape off. There we go. So the Neewer microphone I've got has its own phantom power, which helps, but it's not great because I have to put my audio gain on the PC up to 30, which gives loads of noise, and I've been getting complaints about my audio. If I do that and show you it as it comes out. Okay, so you get USB lead, which will be helpful because this model allows you to plug it to your computer via USB because it's the Q802 USB. There's another one which is an analog one which does not let you plug it via USB, so you have to use phono leads and all that. Here's a power supply, so you do get a power supply with it. It's quite a hefty one actually. Okay, interesting. And okay, let's get out the box. Sorry. Okay. Oh, it comes with the guide. That's interesting. And a sticker. It said it didn't come in the guide and you have to download it, but it seems it does. Okay, there we go. It's not as big as I thought it'd be. That's good size. Okay, anything else in here? No. So let's put this back in. Sorry about all the desk noise, but hopefully you won't get any of this noise once this is set up. So if I put that there, that's power supply. Get rid of all the extra plastics. Yeah, it's a lot smaller. I was in the picture, I was getting a bit scared that it'd look out of place on my desk here, but it seems sealed with tape. Should I do a little nice insertion, a surgical insertion? Beautiful. And let's get all of this plastic. Oh, nice. Metal base, well, aluminium. And at the bottom, you can see the, let me get you on the EOS. Okay, yeah, you can see at the bottom here, it's got fans. And then on the front, okay, so let's go back to dual. Actually, I should have set up a top-down shot so I can show you this, which I can do. Yes, so XLR, and look at it as if it's all simple. That XLR, all those knobs relate to that XLR. So whatever mic you got plugged in there, that's one. Whatever's in two, that's two. These three are extra input points, line in points. I'll explain those separately. So they're controlled there, that's controlled there, and then these are basically for extras. I'll keep it very simple because it is very confusing buying these, and the way they explain it makes it sound like it's rocket science, but it's not really. So what I'll do is, that was a quick unboxing. I'll go to a separate video because I can explain it just in that video. Hi guys, so you join us at a momentous occasion. We have upgraded to a Yamaha mixer board. If you're following my audio setting up journey, you will know I've had two Behringers. I've had the first one, which is the 2 XLR. I've had the second one, which is a 4 XLR, which I'm using at the moment. There's a few problems with it. Every time you move the power cable, it turns on, turns off. Can't be doing with that. Also, the preamps are not excellent. When you get into podcasting, your audio setup needs to be crisp. It needs to be audio quality, like radio quality. And we weren't really getting that from the Behringer. So the preamps apparently on the Yamaha are a lot better. So that's why we're moving on to a different mixer board. And I'll take you to a top-down shot. Now, this is the Yamaha mixer board, which is heavier. The preamps are supposed to be better quality. And we're kind of future-proofing ourselves because we've got 2 XLR outs. We've got 4 ins, sound effects built in, which we may not use. But for the photography podcast that we're doing, we want to make sure the audio is excellent. The mics are slowly getting there. The arms we've got set up, so all that's coming. But the Behringer we've got, if I show you quickly, that is a Behringer setup right now. So you'll notice we have 4 XLR mics plugged in. I have an extra in there, which is basically audio effects. We use a tablet with a mixing app that lets us put effects in. Everything is set up, but watch what happens when the power cable moves slightly. See that? So that's ridiculous. We can't be having that. So Behringer, you need to sort that shizzle out, mate. So that's why we've moved to a Yamaha, because obviously Yamaha is a better quality. If I can put this back up. And what I'll do is I'll set this up and show you how it performs. The main difference here, the power cable has a locking system, so you can actually screw it on, and it has an on and off switch, which the Behringer does not. Yamaha is a better brand. It should be better preamps. Obviously, you're paying more money, but there's a bit of dealing going on, so we're not paying the full price, and we're checking this out and seeing how it does. Behringer, unfortunately, is something you can look at, but I would suggest if you're starting live streaming, it'll be fine. If you're getting into serious podcasting and you've got different mics going in there, your audio quality is not going to be up there. So there is room for improvement, and it's more of a starter board. The Yamaha MG10Xu is also a starter entry level one, but the preamps are a lot better. So we'll do you a few tests of the audio from either ones, and we'll see how it goes. So that's just a journey update on the podcasting and how this is coming along. Okay, now I've switched over to the Yamaha mixer, and this audio you're listening to is directly from the Yamaha mixing board directly into the software. And this will give you a comparison of the audio. I'm doing a voiceover of this clip where I'm putting the two of the mixing boards side to side, and the Yamaha, you can see, has a rear USB power and the actual switch, which comes in very useful because you can switch it off at the desk. The Behringer does not have a switch. The Yamaha is a bit thicker, as in how high it sits off the table, but it's got a slight nice slope to it, so it's a bit more comfortable to use. A lot more features. Obviously, it's a better brand. The Behringer side by side, you can see the slight difference in its size there, and the Yamaha is a bit taller, just slightly there, about an inch or so. So now I'm giving you a comparison of the audio, and if you go back to the start of the video, that was the Behringer audio, and this audio is the Yamaha. 4 simple steps to make your voice sound good in Audacity. 4 simple steps to make your voice sound good in Audacity. Hi guys, welcome to the video. So from that intro you can hear what the voice sounded like before the edits and what it sounds like after. So here we go, let's see how I did it. So what you want to do is open up Audacity, and first you can click on the little mic, and it lets you monitor your voice to see what it sounds like, just to make sure you're not peaking. So here you can see that there. 4 simple steps to make your voice sound good in Audacity. I recorded it twice so you could see the difference between the two. So it's basically record it and then you start with the edits. 4 simple steps to make your voice sound good in Audacity. 4 simple steps to make your voice sound good in Audacity. The first thing is I'm going to select the one I want to fix, which is the bottom one. So I'm going to go Effects, Bass and Treble. So here you can see the values, and I'm clicking Apply. That's based on my voice. tends to work on, well, I'm using an AKG mic, so it works on this, but adjust that slightly for your preference or your voice. The next one is amplify, effects and amplify, just to give it a bit of a boost because it's a bit low. And then I tend to do equalization, so it's a bit of a boost in the bass and the treble there, just to make it sound a bit more oomphy. So you can see that happen there. So now I tend to do this last. Many people do it first, but denoising. So you select the little section where there's no voice. When you record it, always leave a gap before you start speaking so you can denoise the background noise. So you'll see there I selected it and then selected get noise profile for that little section, and then selected all of it and then went back to effects and denoise. So here you can hear the difference again. 4 simple steps to make your voice sound good in Audacity. 4 simple steps to make your voice sound good in Audacity. So there you have it, a quick 4-step process to make any voice sound better. Okay, this is a quick video to show you the types of leads you will need to purchase when you have a Behringer sound mixer board, something like this. When you get it, if you've got an XLR mic, you'll be fine, but you will need to buy some additional cables to help you set up the full capability of this mixer audio interface. So right now you'll see I've got a few things here, which is an XLR cable there. I already had one in my old mic, that one there, so that's fine. And there's some couple of adapters here which I had to get separately, and those are basically to adapt the 1/4-inch line-ins to smaller jack type ones. So what I'll do is I'll bring up a quick list of things that you will need to buy, and it will help you, because if you're setting this up to do multiple things, then it will be something you need to look at. If I bring up this here, what you'll see is that first item there is the XLR patch extension lead, male to female microphone cable, which is basically this red one here that I'm using on this microphone. This cable here goes into the board there, that's what that is. And also you need a 1.2, well, doesn't matter how long it is, but I got a 1.2 meter 3.5 millimeter stereo aux jack to 2x6 35 millimeter 1/4-inch mono plugs, which is that one there. That looks like that. There's 2 and 1. How that basically works is going to be plugging 2 in, you'll have 1 out. So if I show you exactly how, let me bring you to the right screen. So there, that's probably better. So those 2 go in here, 1, 2, and then what you can do with that jack there is plug it into another device. So I've got my phone here, plug that into my phone. What I'll be able to do is play some music, so you can hear that, hopefully a bit of background music if you're doing a podcast, for example, and you can adjust the volumes on this. So if I show you that, so hello and welcome to Soft Talk Photography, and then I can turn that down and continue speaking, so like intro music. But that's basically optimizing that channel there. Look at it as that microphone, that's an audio device which I'm using to add effects in. If I turn that up there, so that's basically background music that you can adjust how high or how low you want it, and that is just you can carry on talking and use it for different things. You can even put it into a sound effect board or a sound app and play noises as you're speaking if you're podcasting. So that's how I'm doing that. There are other ways of doing this, but I found this is easier. So that's that second cable I talked about. There is more cables which I'll show you now. So that's 2 cables you definitely want. Third cable here is slightly different. If I take this back a bit, It's basically the same type of thing, but if you already have a jack cable, it's like an adapter. So you've got two leads there, and you've got that. Bring up screen and bring up another screen. Okay, there. So that one, and then there. So if you already have this kind of lead that you use for speakers being plugged to your PC, you can actually make it as long as you want, because you can plug it there. More or less makes what that is. That's all joined together. But this one, you can obviously make it longer. I don't know if you can see that. You're going the wrong way. Okay, so there, that's another cable. Because I basically got another one here which I can use. So I'm going to plug them into there, and then I can use that channel as well. And that can even be a microphone, because previously I was using it where it was an adapter and XLR to 3.5mm, and you can optimize these, which are the last thing that I bought, which I'll show you quickly. Where's that top one there? 3.5 to 6.35mm gold headphone jack, and that's just a standard headphone jack. So for example, a headphone, you can basically just plug it on, and that can be entered into the headphones there, and you can monitor as you speak, and that's monitoring the actual soundboard and how it sounds. Those are a quick view overview of how I set that up. It wasn't very clear, but if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I can go through it in more detail. I'm making a series of these videos as I'm picking things up, because I'm using this for the first time. So I've made the unboxing video, I've made a video about how I set it up, and then about how to do one microphone, and then slowly moving to 2 and then 3 now. So we're using 3 channels already. And I've also got a section where I'll speak about the Skype. You can actually get a Skype interview set up and make it go through the board. So this is going to help you set up your Behringer, and if it doesn't, let me know which bit I can explain more, so it'll make it a bit clearer. But the soundboard's getting there. I still need to adjust my levels, because I'm basically finding that the newer microphone here is actually not great for background noise. Because what will happen is, if I speak in something more like this, that's actually got a better sound quality, and also I can speak without any background noise and it sounds clearer. So the mics will be changed out, and I'm using 2 mics because it's going to be a podcast. When I get the secondary mic, I'm going to set up a pop-up, set a pop filter, and then show you how I actually do that proper setup, because at the moment I'm still in the early stages of figuring things out. But once it's nailed down, then I'll be sure to kind of show you how that final setup sounds with 2 people. I've got a separate test channel set up and another channel that I'm doing some videos for, so I'll probably link to those so you can check that out. But check the cards, because I've done quite a few videos about this mixing board audio interface and how it's coping so far. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you how to plug a mixing board directly into your DSLR camera. So I have here my Behringer mixing board, and this mixing board is set for audio for 2 microphones. You have 2 outputs there. You have a headphone section here, which we're going to use, and the cable I'm using is the normal jack cable that you tend to use for speakers, PC speakers. So same thing, both ends, 3.5mm. So if I put that into here, and then that headphone jack will be outputting into my DSLR camera. So the DSLR camera has a mic input, which will be on the side. So if I raise that and then put the mic in, the levels can be controlled on the headphones from the control knob on the Behringer. So that will be there. If I do a test now and turn this on for a recording, you can go record. Let me see if I can put something like that there and just focus on that. Okay, so we've got an action camera here we're looking at, and if I press record, so this is a recording of this action camera. Actually, I don't do a recording of the Behringer. There you go. So right now you will be seeing it probably way too high, but I'm speaking into the microphone, and that's going directly into the DSLR camera, which is here. So that's the DSLR camera, and it's recording directly into the DSLR camera via the lead, which is going into the microphone. So this will give you a sample. I'll put this up, load this up, so you can actually see what this looks like. And this is how to quickly set audio from your mixer board directly into your DSLR. It's recording directly into the DSLR camera via the lead, which is going into the microphone. This will give you a sample. I'll put this up, load this up, so you can actually see what this looks like. And this is how to quickly set audio from your mixer board directly into your DSLR if you are recording a podcast or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to set up your mixing board audio interface to be able to take Skype calls. I have the Behringer USB mixing board, so it's plugged to the PC via USB. There's a few confusion theories online where you have to plug in and outs and all sorts. So I plug my earphone into the computer PC and I hear it from that. So if you're using this to make a Skype call for an interview, if you've got OBS Studio like I have, what you want to do is plug in your microphone, configure it in OBS, and then open up Skype and identify your microphone. So in Skype, you can select the three dots and go to the settings and then the audio and video, as I am here. And as part of that, when you scroll down, you'll say you can pick which microphone you want to use. You can see here, I'm using the microphone, which is a USB audio interface. And that is where your audio is going to be coming from and going to the person you're calling. And the speakers themselves I've selected as the computer speakers, so they come into my ear so I can hear the caller. That way that audio doesn't go back into the audio board and get like a loop, which seems to be happening to people. So here I can test this. You should have heard that ringing there, and I can actually perform a test call. So in this menu, if you go right down, what a test call does is it pretends that you're calling Skype. It asks you to leave a message, and then it plays the message back to you. If you hear the message playing back to you, that means you configured it properly, because that's what your person you're calling will hear, your caller. So let's make a free test call.
Testing service. After the beep, please record a message. Afterwards, your message will be played back to you.
Hello, this is a test call for Skype. This is a test call for Skype. There you go. So that confirms that my audio's.
If you are able to hear your own voice,
Yes.
then you have configured Skype correctly.
Yes, so I heard my own voice, has configured Skype correctly. The main two things to remember is monitor via your PC mic and use the USB microphone in Skype to record, and the speakers, select those as your PC speakers. That's the main issue. If you want to hear it and monitor it through your USB audio interface, that's when you have to do all that plugging. But that's a bit too complicated. So to avoid that, set it up this way and you can make successful Skype calls. I'll leave a link to a couple of calls I've made using this setup so you can see how that works. Okay, so I've set up the Behringer now. I've got my XLR mic plugged in channel 1. I'm using that line of results there. I've got gain halfway and I'm using the master mix here to give good enough audio. What I did do was on the computer Q802 USB. So I've taken out the box, separate video showing you all that. This is a basic setup. So here, two cables come with this. And these two cables are power supply. You have to be careful with this power supply because it's, let me show you a close up. It's like one of those funny S-video type ones where there's pins in there. It's metal, but it's fine, and there's a USB. I've already plugged this USB into my PC. This is going to go into the Behringer, and I've got there, so you can see my actual desktop and what you can expect to see. Okay, so on the back of this unit, there is two areas: USB, which is this one, I'm doing this all backwards, so there. Okay, so the USB plugged in. Remember there was three microphones, well, three entries here, but now you can see there USB audio codec has automatically recognized the Behringer, and that's a good thing. So step one's done. And then because some microphones are XLR powered, as in phantom powered, there's a power supply that comes with it. And again, in the back of the Behringer, there is, you can't see that very well. Just make sure it goes in the right way, because it goes in one way. Okay, done. So now I'll show you that. You can see in the back there's a USB and the power. Just be careful with the power, it goes in one way. Now I'll tidy this up afterwards, but for the sake of a quick test and getting you started and showing you what this can do. Okay, so there's the Behringer, and what I'm going to do is put my XLR mic there. So right now, if I go back to this screen, you can see microphone is there, which is a USB. So that now should be enabled, but let me show you this screen. Okay, so right now this XLR mic will go off. I'm gonna pull it out. Noises. And the microphone. Listen levels. Okay, that's 100%. So if I put the gain up on the, okay, so here we go. So now I'm putting the gain up on the mixer. So I'm not doing it from the PC. So I plugged in the XLR. I went to my computer and selected the microphone properties in sound settings. This is a PC. And on that, what I did was click on the microphone and increase the microphone. For some reason it was low. And then, can you see this? Wait, let me see if I can. Yeah, it's not very good there. Let me see if I can do it like this. Might be better. Because that little action camera can't handle it, can it? Okay, so right now, XLR is plugged in here. And this gain, first one was down. But now it's really down. Hello, 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 hello. So now I'm raising that gain to where I want it, and that is about halfway gain. And then the comp, this one here, if I increase that, it increases the background noise. So I've turned that back right down. Equalizer and highs. I don't want highs, so I want it to sound a bit more radio-y. Mids, mid all the way up, mid all the way down. Hello, hello, and welcome to Zof Talks Photography. That sounds a bit more lows. That's lows taken out. If I put the lows back in, hello, and welcome to Zof Talks Photography. Put that back. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, I gotta play with these, but that's basically getting you started. And level 1 is at plus 15. I can still hear some noise and a bit of a buzz there. Let me turn that down. Okay, so that gain a bit higher. So now if I'm speaking over here, this is without any audio effects, and I was previously using something else, which was this little box, and what that box did was not much at all really. What it did was it had your XLR in, XLR out, and it had a power supply. Other side it was just a button just for phantom power, so it didn't actually help in any way really, because it was just giving me phantom power. Whereas now at least the microphone setup, and you've joined me on the journey live. I took it out of the box, first time I'm using it, and I've managed to get it to work while recording. This is using Streamlabs OBS. I'll do a bit more adjusting and testing, and the main thing to remember is it looks more complicated than it is. Just think of it like this: if you're doing one microphone setup, plug your mic in, USB power, Windows, and that's your first line you got to concentrate on. That was your first run. Let me play with it a bit more, figure out how to do everything, and then... Okay, so I've set up the Behringer now. I've got my XLR mic plugged in channel 1. I'm using that line of results there. I've got gain halfway, and I'm using the master mix here to give good enough audio. What I did do was, on the computer, you may have seen during my setup stage that I had my microphone on full, just like USB codec, and what I've done now is actually decrease that from 100 to 50, so it's actually halfway, and the Behringer mixer board is actually doing all the hard work for me now, and we'll see how this audio sounds. I think it sounds better than what I previously had, because if you recall, what I upgraded from was this newer phantom power box, so the mic went in, out, and straight into the PC, and you basically powered it on to get power to the mic. But now in my Audacity section, I can see that actually, based on me speaking directly into Audacity, the voice is a lot more better than what I was getting in terms of the levels. And I've got the max mix board here, which I'm using to slightly increase or decrease my volume. And also I'm actually speaking further away from the microphone than I was before. So now I think I'm at a good point where getting decent audio, but then I don't know until I upload this and see how it sounds like. And hopefully you'll let me know if it sounds better or not. So this is the conclusion to the Behringer. Quick setup. I'll do more videos about more in-depth stuff for live streams. Hi guys, welcome. So in this episode I'm going to be speaking to you about the Behringer USB interface audio mixer. If I bring that up here, you've got a little view of it down here as it's set up, and I've already done one video about a live setup. So I showed you how one of the microphones was being set up, and now what I'll do is show you how to set up a second mic. So right now up here you could probably see, you know what, let me bring you up on the wide screen, that's probably better. So right there, let's get that. Okay, here the black one is my second mic, which is for the co-host. Over here, turn that mic off. Wait, let me, can you see that? Okay, so that is channel 2, and that is this microphone. If I put this microphone down, this microphone is the red cable here, and that's being controlled here. If I turn this down, you'll see that affects on my output, and if I turn it up a bit, you'll hear it a bit clearer. So what I'll do is show you this newer microphone is a condenser microphone, and it does need phantom power. So that's what this button here is. You push that button, that lights up there, which shows you 48 volts. You know what, let me see if I can show you. There you go. So that there is your 48 volts, and the phantom power is on. If I turn that phantom power off, it takes a little while to come off because there's still power within the board, and when that goes off, it's not giving this mic enough power. So we're slowly seeing it die off, but it takes a bit of while. So what I'll do is I'll turn this mic down. Oh, hello. Okay, there you go. So this microphone here is the second mic. But this mic is basically this black one there. Black one. So, you know, I can get rid of this because I'm not showing you that right now. I'll show you that in a different video. It might just get confusing. So right now, looking at the board, you have a similar board. We'll have 2 channels which can put XLR cables in, and those are those XLR cables there. 1, 2. They're being controlled here, and that control lets you individually control the equalization. So you can turn some of these. This isn't this mic, this is this mic here. I can turn that slowly and you'll see an impact on how my voice sounds. And what you can do, you can give it a bit of bass, you can take the bass away, you can give it a bit of equalization and see what sounds good to your ear. I normally tend to give it a bit of bass but not too much. So right now everything in the middle will be a standard, so it's not giving you too much. My gain is set quite high here because I've put the microphone quite low on the computer. You can see that in my initial setup video, but this is basically getting you two microphones set up. So for example, if I'm speaking on this microphone here and I'm a secondary host, I'll use this. And then what you can do is probably just about see that I normally, and then turn this mic up. So when I'm speaking into this mic, you can see I've turned that up. What I would tend to do is if that is on and the other one is also on, you'll hear two noises. Oh, hello, hello, hello. So it sounds a bit echoey. So what I'll do is if I'll turn the first mic off, that should sound a lot clearer to you. So I'm still working on these settings to set this up, but there's gate here. Right, gate off. Because what the noise gate is doing is stopping any low volumes. So when you click my mouse, I don't want you to hear that, but I'm setting that up. I've got an equalizer set up, which I've turned off. I've got a compression, which I've turned off. And I've also turned off the noise suppression now. So right now, this is without any noise suppression on the computer itself. And it's on this second mic, which is here. So if I turn that mic off, and then speak to you on this mic here, you'll see or actually hear how much noise is coming from this mic right now. So this mic is a secondary mic and it's a condenser mic. So if you listen, if you've got headphones on, see all that noise is because this microphone's picking up a wider aspect of noise. So it's a condenser microphone, whereas that one is a dynamic, so it only takes from the front. So if I turn this mic off and then get you to the other mic, you'll see how it sounds different. So I've turned the first mic off and I've opened up the second mic. There should be a lot less noise now, because I'm speaking directly into this microphone, which is an AKG, and that's basically giving you an overview of setting up two microphones. If you're in a situation where you've got someone in you need to speak to on the podcast, then you've got two channels there. You can have more channels, which I can show you in a separate video, but this is just a basic about two microphones. If I go back to that one by closing. So I'm back to the Neewer microphone now, and the Neewer microphone is here, and that's you know why it sounds like that? Because the phantom power was off. So remember I told you earlier the phantom power takes a while to come off. If I put the phantom power on, I need to turn this down a bit because it's going to be really high. Phantom power is turned on, so you see that slight and there. See how much noise gets introduced with the phantom power, because, and you can hear my computer fan, well I can in my earphones anyway. So now the phantom power is on because that light is on over here, and it's getting phantom power to this microphone. So if I do that same thing again by turning the Neewer microphone down and turn this microphone up, see there's a lot less noise. A lot less noise. And what does happen is actually if there's two people speaking and one person has this microphone and one person has this microphone, whoever's speaking here will be heard in this mic, so you'll get a double voice, which I don't want. So I'm having to swap this out. I've got another Behringer mic coming, so I'll be reviewing that. But yeah, this gives you an idea of how this sounds. And what's even better is if I'm talking on this mic and someone is behind me over here, you won't hear them as much, so it's very low, whereas this mic picks up. So I'm basically just holding that away from me, so away from me like that. So if someone's speaking that way, and as you turn that microphone around, you'll see it slowly starts picking up the noise and you can hear me better. And if I get a bit closer, it's even better. But I'm going to set that up when I've got the other mic set. So that is basically two microphones in their current form, and it shows you why one mic is better than another mic, because this mic is different, picks up a lot more noise. But I'm hoping that was helpful for you as part of this series, because what I'm basing, let me get this one back up. See, as soon as I open that up, if you've got headphones, you'll see, you kind of hear how much noise there is. So I have to actually go onto the computer and put on the noise suppression, which then reduces it. So noise suppression via gate, and then what the gate's doing is getting rid of the low volumes. But yeah, that's giving you an idea about the Behringer and setting up two microphones. A bit longer video than I wanted, but I will show you a last video where you can actually input sound effects